Hello guys, I'm Draco back again for another reaction. So today I'm excited because I finally have new ITZY content to react to. So ITZY was on the Fact Music Awards winning Best Performer because of course last night. And apparently their performance was pretty cool. And they did a dance break featuring ITZY and Chaeryeong between Not Shy and Wannabe. And I've seen the costumes for it. And they're like all over the place, but also so ITZY. And then, I did also hear that Yeji was a little sick. As somebody who is also like a little congested from a cold, like I'm commiserating. She's gonna do a lot more with her cold than I am with mine, but I'm still gonna react to this video. So let's go. All right. Okay, so we gotta. Is that Leah? Yep. Looking badass. Okay, there's, yeah, Yuna. Okay, she is looking fire there. Okay, fashion when we kill people. Sorry, we don't kill people. We just take their desserts. I know people who would want to be lasted by Chaeryeong. Oh, this time Yeji gets to wear the hat. It's a little big for her. Okay. Oh, they've even got purple earpieces, or at least Yuna does. Real quick, I just want to talk about how they have gotten to be so impressive when they're live, to the point where sometimes you're like, wait, is that them lip syncing or. And then something else will happen where it's like, oh, that was a little bit off. But rarely are they so much off that it's really something that you notice. So, which is not the case with some of their earlier songs. A lot of their Dala Dala and Icy performances, Icy especially with Leah because of the notes being a little high for her to do live. But they would often have those little bits where you could hear the strain in their voices. Not Shy is much more like in their kind of wheelhouse. And that's making it where they can hit those notes while they're dancing a lot easier. Wannabe was also pretty much like that, but there were some parts that were a little closer to strain as compared to like Twice's latest song, I Can't Stop Me, where those live performances are, because it's very high for almost all of them. Even the ones who are usually comfortable singing higher notes, it's just too much for them to do when it's live, particularly when it's kind of, they haven't practiced enough first. They haven't warmed up, I guess, is more that than practiced. Okay. I like Regent's new hair. Shy. I gotta say, if I was skinnier, I would want Yuna's outfit. Okay. Okay, there's a part of me that in my head is going like, Sugi and Irene who? But at the same time, like, you can't get past that tutting. Like that, yeah. That was such a good song, such a good dance. But Yeji and Shaerong, like, we know they're good dancers. They have shown us this repeatedly. But just this level of confidence when they're up there, they're just killing it. I love it. Everybody tries to do the shoulder dance, but no one can do it as well as Ryujin. Oh, that was really cute smile on Jaeyoung. Yeah, you can definitely hear a little bit of that illness in Yeji's voice, but it's not as bad as I was thinking it might be from what I was seeing on Twitter. Yuna's voice is really nice for this performance. Okay, so this is not Ryujin right now. And then they kick back in. Okay. And they're just holding it. Okay. ITZY just never fail. Like they never disappoint. They really have become such good performers over the last 2 years. Because again, a lot of their Dollar Dollar performances, they were not as strong. Same as a lot of the ITZY performances. It was a lot of like focus on the dance instead of necessarily like on the singing. And if you watch like, dancers determine who's the best dancer in ITZY, there's a lot of talk about how Chaejong wasn't really the person who would give you like good faces during her movements. Like, she was a really strong dancer, but she kind of forgot about this performance though. Like, she kept smiling and just giving little gestures with her face. You could just see the emotions. And honestly, the biggest emotion was happiness. Like, she clearly loves to perform and has finally learned how to show it here. Yuno's really good during the performance. Just her presence, she was killing it. And then her vocals were top notch. As we know from the Not Shy performance version, that sometimes her voice can be a little shouty. She projects so much that sometimes it loses a little bit of like the melody. And it's fine when you're doing the kind of performances that they do, where they do have like backup vocals and everything in there, and they have the music that lets their voices kind of round it out a little bit better, so that even if you're a little bit shouty, it still comes through just fine. She's still hitting the notes, so it's not really an issue. Leah, it felt like she was really comfortable on the stage, which is also really great to see. Again, Leah is somebody that we know has had issues with her confidence when it comes to her dancing. A lot of it caused by fans who say that she shouldn't be in that group, but like, even if she's, the worst of a good bunch, her level is not low anymore. She is not struggling anymore. Now, she might have some of the choreography that is the easiest of the group, that they tend to place her where she won't have to do the hardest elements. But it's the kind of thing that if you're not super focusing on Leah, what are you going to do wrong? You're not going to notice it. So, yeah. Who didn't I talk about? Yeji. That you could tell that Yeji was just suffering a little bit from her cold. She kind of lost some stamina and energy in her voice during Wannabe. But she had it during Not Shy. She wasn't bringing as much swag as she normally does, but she was still doing a lot with what she had going on, when you could tell that she didn't have all of that energy that she normally does. Because normally you cannot stop her. She is just a little wind-up toy. It's just like, keep going. And I'm just like flapping my hands. Yeah, so she's normally like top notch. Absolutely cannot stop her. And this time it felt like she could be stopped if you really needed her to. Not a bad thing, but it did mean that she didn't stand out as much as normal. Ryujin, she had a couple points during her rap, like when she did the part on the floor during Not Shy. Her voice is a little not there for that. She didn't have the energy that she normally does. I'm going to hope that, like, whatever illness that they have, that it's something they get over very, very soon, because with the way COVID has just been making its way through the music industry in South Korea, I would hate to see that happen to some of my favorite artists. So, did I talk about everybody? Yeah, I think I did. So yeah, I think that Yuna was probably the standout there just because she was so poised and confident, in her voice, that and her vocals were so good that it was kind of hard to go above and beyond that. But Chaeryeong, like, she is right there on the edge, just going like, okay, give me 2 more seconds of screen time. Which I'm gonna hope, because we are in theory getting another ITZY single this month. Please. 2020 could use it. But yeah, so I'm hoping that the way that they did everything, where everyone had some purple on except for Chaeryeong, that's saying that everybody has had their turn, it's hers next. Because even though all ITZY songs are pretty well balanced between everybody, there's always that kind of focus. So we talk about it being somebody's era. And there are arguments about whose era it is, but it is generally agreed that Chaeryeong has not had her era yet. And I think we're all ready for it, because Chaeryeong is an amazing talent. And if we're going based on this, then yeah, I'm hoping that means that she is ready, because she has definitely been stepping up her game recently. We are ready for Chaeryeong Center. Now, does that mean that our bodies are ready? Probably not. We will be killed by this, but it will be okay. All right. Well, there, you guys have now gotten to see me react to something that I just wholeheartedly love, right? That it's, when you love things, it's hard to complain about them. When you're first coming across something new, it's a little easier to kind of pick it apart, to try to decide whether or not you really can like more of it. But ITZY, I think I've said this in my channel before, but when I've described how ITZY is to my friends, I said they're calculated chaos. They're songs that are just like 6 songs shoved together that somehow still end up fabulous. Chaos, but calculated. They're just everything about their style, like their fashion game, their dancing, just everything about it. It's so chaotic, but I love it. A lot of times it just feels like they are a group that is meant for me, you know? Just the way that their songs are, the way that they are in interviews. I connect so well to each of the members. Like Letters to ITZY, I spent the whole time going, yep, me. And yeah, ITZY means a lot to me because of that. They're not one of the groups that I found when I was going through like a tough time of my life or anything. I just happened to be listening to Pandora. I want to say ITZY came on, and I listened to it, and the first time I was kind of like, wait, what was that? But I liked it enough to not thumbs down or anything. And then I heard it again. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, I think I like this. And then I went and I watched the MV, and then I realized I had already listened to Dala Dala, so I watched that MV. And this was not that long after ITZY had come out. So I very quickly was like, okay, so here's a group that has like 5 songs at this point. And they're all pretty fabulous. Why is there not a dance practice for Cherry? ITZY, you could still do that and we would still like it. Just saying. But yeah, and now that they have like 20 something songs, like the only one that I'm not fully in love with is 24 Hours. and yet there's still something about it, I can't skip it. Okay guys, follow me on Twitter. Look in the description stuff down below for my link to my Patreon if you want to support me so that I can do this more regularly, because if I can treat it like a job, then I can do more and not have an issue. I think I'm going to try to do an album reaction for GOT7 soon, so that would be on my Patreon. Okay guys, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll talk to you next time.